and I apologize. That's like 3 weeks in a row. Sorry, I was showing a triplex that we have, and they had lots of questions, and I was trying to rush back, but I'm here now. So thank you for popping in. I can't believe, hi Justin. I can't believe it's almost October in a week and a day. It's been a crazy year, but it's also been a super fast year. Besides it's October in a week and a day, it is also our next $1,000 giveaway in a week and a day. So you're welcome to, you're welcome to, nominate like a family business, or even if it's not your family, somebody else's family. If you're like, I love this mom and pop shop or whatever, it doesn't just have to be an individual person. It could be an entire business or small company or whatever during COVID, or that you just think could use a deserving hand or so forth. You're more than welcome to nominate them for the $1,000 giveaway, okay? For those of you that don't know, you just have to literally just take a video like this and just say who you are and who you would like to win, or what business or what person or what family, and send it to info@crippshomes.com. And then next Thursday on the 1st, we will go and knock on somebody's door, hi Scotty, and give them a check for $1,000, okay? So first I'm going to start with a question. So the first question is from Jill in Holland Landing. And Jill said, I appreciate you doing your Facebook Lives from homes because I find them more real and interactive. To move this fall. Sorry, something happened with my connection there. Hi, Sarah. I'll answer this question, Sarah, and then I will answer yours, okay? She just said, we're looking to move this fall or next spring. Is this something we should remove? So thank you, Jill, for asking. To be honest, like I've had clients sell their houses and they have a ramp up to their front door. My grandpa used to be in a wheelchair. He was paralyzed from the waist down. So there's always people that are looking for those homes. Obviously not as many that are looking for more typical type of entrances to a front door. But there still are, elderly people or people with disabilities that are looking for that. So I wouldn't remove it. It's an easy remove for somebody if they wanted to. And I've had clients that bought it and not for the purpose of using it, and then they've just sold it on like Marketplace and got like $3,000 to $6,000 for those ramps are expensive that go down to the basement. So I would just keep it as is. But thank you for asking. And Sarah asked, do you think the market will be slowing down going into November, December? Sorry, I was just reading off there. I've mentioned that before, so it depends if there's a second wave, right? Like everybody's talking, is there a second wave? And then Ottawa saying they're going into their reclosing things and so forth. So it just depends. And it depends, are things going to completely shut down and you can't go into Home Depot and you just have to pick it up at the curb? Or can you go in or whatever? Because our market's been strong throughout this. Like the first 2 weeks of COVID was normal. Then it was 2 weeks of like dead silence. And then it was normal again and then went to craziness. So it just depends how long it goes on. But one thing I've talked about in the past weeks on these lives is that people's 6-month deferral for their mortgage is coming to. So that will affect things because if they can't renew their mortgage, not everybody's is up this year. It might be up next March or next winter or whatever. But if it's coming up this year and they can't renew, maybe they don't count CERB as a payment, like as a form of income, or maybe one of them didn't go back to work or what have you. And then there's more inventory, because right now we have no inventory and tons of buyers, right? So if suddenly we have more inventory, instead of having say 60 houses for sale, we have 600, that's obviously going to affect the price, right? So it just depends, if people can't afford their mortgages after their 6-month deferral, but less than 1/5 of Canadians actually deferred their mortgage. So it's not like 100% of Canadians deferred their mortgage and now they all, their deferrals is over and now they can't afford to pay it. So it was only less than 1/5 deferred. So if that kind of answers your question, hopefully, Sarah. Hi, Darren. So I, for people who have not watched this before, I answer questions like Sarah just asked, or people write in. So you're welcome to do either. No worries, Sarah. I answer questions. I do real estate updates, and we do some happy news. So the first one, happy news, I was going to do is 38 years ago, in 1982, for anybody that is counting. And I'm getting a call from Airbnb right now. Means that there's an issue going on at one of my Airbnbs. So in 1982, this fellow decided that he was going to give away all his money, which is $8 billion, not million, billion. And it's taken him till this week to do so. So he finally just got rid of it all. Not really got rid of it, but he like secretly gave it away. So he just did it all, and now he's 89. So even though he's a billionaire, he rents a tiny apartment. He has no car. He flies economy, and he has one pair of shoes. But he wanted to like promote, to giving while living as opposed to waiting till you pass away and then giving away, because he just said like how much more, satisfying. I can't speak how much more satisfying it is to see people enjoy the money and charities be able to do amazing things while you're around than after you're gone. And his idea back in the 80s promoted Warren Buffett to do the same thing, which I talked about at a previous live that I did, where he has them sign this pledge, and they have to agree to give at least 50% of their earnings to charity before they die. So this guy he's alive, is named Chuck Feeney, and they actually wrote a book about him in 2007, and it was called The Billionaire That Wasn't. And it says how Chuck Feeney secretly made and gave away a fortune. And how he made his billions of dollars was the duty-free shops in the airport. Who would have known they made $8 billion, but they did. So that's how he made his money. But it's just about like giving back and, giving back to the community and, things that you believe in. He gave to a lot of like educational systems and human rights systems. And then he was born in New Jersey, but his parents or ancestors were from Ireland. So he gave lots to Ireland and so forth. So I thought that was pretty cool of this Chuck guy. And then also that he inspired, Warren Buffett to do the same. Hi, Dakota. Hi, Maddie. Hi, Steve. Okay, so the next question comes in from Carrie and Oro. So Carrie says, I love making furniture and have found myself, now that my work has reopened, wanting to be there less and less and making furniture more and more. Do you think I should make furniture full time? And also, would you ever consider using my pieces in your staging? Thank you for asking, Carrie. I can't say if you should do it full time because I've never seen any of them, and I don't want to be rude, but I might look at them and be like, I wouldn't give you $1 for those. I'm assuming that's not the case, but you never know. And then as for would we use your pieces in staging, I would absolutely love to. If you want to send me some pictures in the private messages, just send me some pictures or a link to your Instagram or your website or something. I'd be happy to look at them. Hopefully they're not too heavy because we stage a lot, and I hurt my knee a little while ago, so hopefully they're not too heavy, but I'd be happy to look at them. So thank you, Carrie, for asking. But I do think you should follow your dreams. Maybe not leave your full-time job yet, but create on the side and ask me, ask other realtors, ask new builders, maybe in their show homes or something, if you can put your pieces there, and maybe build a name and a brand for yourself that way. Maybe even if you like donated, let's just say you went on like a wedding website or something, or a wedding Facebook group, and you said like free gifts to the first 10 people that message me, and then you make them custom gifts, and then they get a little card with your custom made sign, and then maybe for the next wedding they go to, then they contact you and they want you to make them that cutting board or that end table, or I don't know what type of furniture you make. Obviously a cutting board isn't furniture, but do you know what I mean? I'm thinking wood, so maybe that's something you can do, but thank you for asking. The next thing was there was a girl named Anastasia, before I get into real estate. A girl named Anastasia, she was 14, she's alive, but she's not 14 anymore. She was 14 when she went blind, but she could see up until that point. And she had just started swimming a couple of months before she went blind, and then she went blind. She but for 8 months she's like, what am I going to do with my life? And thought it was kind of a bad dream, or this can't be her reality or whatever. And then she finally was like, okay, this is my reality. What am I going to do with my whole life and decades and what have you? I know like 70-year-olds that don't know what they want to do with their life. So at 14, for her to be pondering, I thought was cute. And she decided she wanted to not just swim like in her friends' backyards, but be a competitive swimmer. So she ended up doing that, but a lot of coaches wouldn't coach her because she's blind. So she finally found a coach, and then last year she won 2 gold medals in Australia and like the world's para games. So that was really awesome. And then there's a foundation called Puppies with Purpose, and I love dogs. It would be my dog Sunday if you. So Floyd would be 15. But anyway, so this purpose, they donated a Labrador Retriever to her named Radar, and so he helps her with swimming, and then obviously with everyday day-to-day living. And now she's staying at basically somewhere where they just train nonstop, and she's training to go to Tokyo for their games there. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cute. Puppies with a purpose. So the next question, I don't know what's with my internet today, sorry, is from Jacqueline and Bree. So they wrote, again, you can write in here or you can write me and I'll answer it next week. Hi, Kristin. We're sisters in Barrie and both have kids under 5, but would love to buy a place together. We'll have more money when our kids are in school and there's less daycare costs and so forth. Or buy now and maybe rent out the basement, etc. Thank you for writing in, Jacqueline and Bree. I like that you're thinking of renting the basement. It is a little frustrating right now, to be honest, to buy, just because there are so many bidding wars, because there's not a lot of inventory to choose from. So you're against a lot of people, and then tons of people are coming from Toronto. So the Toronto people are realizing, like, I want a backyard, or now I need a spare room, not just to be like have a bed in it. I don't know what's going on with my internet. Sorry. I'm looking at the plug-in thing and it's right there. They, their spare room might be an office. It might be now a homeschooling thing. So they're realizing they don't have enough space in their house, so they're coming north. They're also to like Oshawa, Hamilton, Niagara, Ajax, Fort Erie, Aurelia, Innisfil, etc. So they're coming, to the surrounding areas, basically 60 to 90 minutes of Toronto. So it's pushing into us. So it's a little bit frustrating right now to be a buyer. But it would be great if you guys could share a space and then rent out the other space. Would be awesome. Real estate is still expected to go up this year. I was going to talk about that later. It's supposed to go up like 4.6% across Canada. Last year it only went up 3.9%, and then obviously individual areas have higher ones, so it's still something good as opposed to, you're spending, let's just say you're both paying $1,500 a month rent, so you're paying $3,000, so you're paying over $30,000 a year, $5,000 a year that could be going into your own house and paying down your own principal, and then that house going up in value. So I always like real estate for that purpose. So that is my roundabout answer. A little frustrating right now, but still I think you should get in the market if you guys can. That would be great. But thank you for asking. The next thing, I was just checking if my internet was still working, why it's so down, is I have 2 books going on. Was this new report that came out, and basically it's about rebuilding, it's called Rebuilding Ontario, and they want to, for 6 months, put a hold or a break or a pause on land transfer tax. So basically, land transfer tax, so buyers pay land transfer tax and lawyers' fees, and sellers pay commission and lawyers' fees. So there's a subsidy, or whatever you want to call it, a grant for first-time buyers for $4,000 for land transfer tax, that they get that back. They can't buy a $2 million house and get it paid completely, but they can buy, something, even if the land transfer tax is $5,100, they only have to pay $1,100. So they're asking that be paused for 6 months just to help Ontario's economy. And they're saying that will create over 32,000 new buyers who can then get in the market, because 3 out of 10 people said they would buy in 6 months if that wasn't there, as opposed to if it was there. And they said it'll also create 31,000 new jobs. So they're trying to do that. And then they're also trying to up the grant from $4,000 for first buyers to $6,000 for first buyers. And they're also trying to do this, I forget what it's called, economy. I'm going to look it up. Not look it up, it's in my booklet. I forget what the area thingy is called. It's called Opportunity Zone. So let's just say it's kind of like a sketchier area. they'll let there be like, okay, you don't pay land transfer tax over here, or you only pay half of it over here, even if you've bought 10 times prior, because they want to help revitalize areas that aren't doing the greatest. So again, this is another thing that they're trying to do in their in this new Ontario basically bill that they're trying to pass called Rebuilding. It's a report called Rebuilding Ontario. So that is something else that they're trying to do. 39% of people said they're more confident in the real estate market since COVID, and 37% said they're less confident, so it's kind of on the fence there. And 32% of people that live in urban areas right now say they do not want to live there, which is helpful for people like myself who do not live in an urban area, so it helps bring up the value of our homes. And I already said about the 4.6%. So I'm going to go back to a question. And again, for people that didn't see at the beginning, we do a $1,000 giveaway every month. So if you want to nominate anybody, Airbnb is calling me again. So there must be a big issue why they keep calling me. The next question, oh yeah, the $1,000. You can nominate anybody you want. You can nominate like your local pharmacist, somebody at a pizza place, somebody that bakes your butter tarts or your croissants. It could be your cleaner. It could be your kid's teacher or principal or whatever. You can nominate anybody you want. Could be your neighbor, could be your sister, could be your spouse. You just have to send us a video of who you want to win and why. And then on the first of the month, which is next Thursday, we will knock on somebody's door and give them a $1,000 check. Okay. So next question is from Greg and Michelle, and they're in Barrie. Greg and Michelle said, we do home daycare, and we've basically turned one of our main floor bedrooms to a learning school type room, another into a nap room, the master bedroom into our main play bomb explosion. We have 2 bedrooms downstairs where our teenage daughter and ourselves have our rooms. Do you suggest turning this back to bedrooms for selling? Greg and Michelle, even though it is a seller's market, I would absolutely change those back to bedrooms. Even if one stayed as a playroom or the nap room or whatever, I would have 2 of the 3 bedrooms as bedrooms. I'm actually listing my house tomorrow, and I had one as a massive walk-in closet, and I turned it back to a bedroom because I just wanted people to see that it could be a bedroom. If I had 6 bedrooms, I'd keep it as a massive walk-in closet, but when you only have 2 and one is a massive walk-in closet, a 1 bedroom is not very easy to sell. So I would definitely change that back if you can, okay? Not if you can, I know you can, but thank you for asking, Greg and Michelle. So now, real estate again. So stat-wise, and again, sorry, I have this in 2 booklets, but I was a lot longer at a triplex today than I was planning on being. I kind of covered this before, saying that, people aren't seeing Toronto as attractive anymore. There's no Raptors playing, there's no Leafs playing, there's no Jays playing, there's no concerts, and their little patio that once, saw the CN Tower, now they're like, man, CN Tower, and they, are not really as comfortable going to parks and so forth, or maybe their kids are driving them crazy inside, so they are moving up north. So that is really good for us who live up north, as well, just for their dollar wise, right? They're trying to get more bang for their buck. So they are wanting multiple bedrooms so they can do that office or home gym or home learning center, as well as a lot of them are really looking for backyards and kind of getting more connected to hanging out with their children, dinners at home, patios at home, like having maybe distance friends over or in their bubble or whatever. So that's helping. But Barrie, in the last 24 hours, there has been 24 new listings just in the past 24 hours. Hi, Dawn. There has been 1 deal that died, 11 conditionally sold, 10 sold firm, and 1 person got their keys. To say that only 1 person got their keys sounds bad, but really it was a Tuesday. So how many people close on a Tuesday? Only 1 person, obviously, in Barrie. But in the last 7 days, there was 70 new listings. 3 deals died, 36 conditionally sold, so on finance or inspection or what have you. 80 sold firm, so 80 happy buyers in the past week in Barrie. And 30 people got keys, so they had bought previously and then they got their keys in the past week. 3 people, their price increased, and 1 put their price down, and 1 expired and 9 canceled. And then condos in the last 7 days, there was 20 new listings, which is actually a lot for condos. Condos aren't normally that busy. 4 of the deals either they didn't get financing or they changed their mind or what have you. 13 conditionally sold. 15 sold firm. 5 people got their keys. 1 expired and 6 canceled. And I apologize, I have 2 books. Dawn, do you know about our $1,000 giveaway that we're doing? You can nominate anybody. You can nominate Glenda. You can nominate one of your boys, whoever you like, and you just have to send a video of who you want to win and why. And then on the 1st of the month, we'll go and knock on somebody's door. I already said about that, about the $4,000, the $6,000, about land transfer tax. So I'm not going to say that again. I'm going to go to another question. So Todd from Cookstown. Todd wrote, I love photography and really want to do this as my career, but I don't feel like people take me seriously or want to pay me for my services. How do I get over, number 1, the hump of fear of going after my dreams, and 2, demanding payment? Thank you for asking, Todd, and writing in. Getting over the fear, I mean, obviously just trying it. If you get to the end of your life and you're like, I wonder if I would have been a good photographer, how do you ever know? So even if you try and you suck, at least you know you tried. So I think you just have to jump and do it. And although I will never bungee jump, I kind of feel like it's a bungee jump type of thing. You just have to do it. The more you stand up there, bungee jumping and look at the drop, or the more you analyze, I should do this before I do photography, or I should ask my friends this, or I should take this course or whatever. I think you should just start practicing. And as for the asking for payment, or demanding, as you put, maybe you can just do a bunch of stuff for free first. I don't know, like if you came and asked me and said, hey, can I take pictures for you? I wouldn't want to, do it unless I'd seen, okay, these are houses you took pictures of, or these are you were offering to me. So I think if you don't have that, then you should do it for free for friends or family members, just so you can build your portfolio, so they have something to look at. And then you could start, obviously asking for money once you have that built up. But right now, if you don't have that, I don't think that's the greatest idea. But thank you for asking. Back to real estate in Oro in the last 7 days, there was 14 new listings. 2 deals died, went dead. 12 conditionally sold. 11 people got, 12 conditionally sold and 12 sold firm. 11 people got their keys and 1 listing expired. And then in Springwater, so just as we had northwest of Barrie, there was 11 new listings in the past 7 days. 15 conditionally sold, 22 people got their keys, 22 sold firm, and 13 got their keys. And then in Essa, so extreme west to us, or to myself, there was 11 new listings. 2 deals fell apart. 3 conditionally sold, 8 sold firm, and 5 people got keys to their new homes. And again, I'm listing my house tomorrow, so I'm prepared to be homeless for all the showings. We're still tons of bidding wars right now, as all the Toronto people come up and people take advantage of the really low interest rates. The amount of people that have been getting 1.8 and 1.89 and 1.92 is crazy, and CMHC is expected to keep the rates 23, which is great. It's not like 2021 and it's a short window. They're expected to do it for 3.5-ish more years, so that is really good, and spurring our market. As well as just people wanting to get out of the city, and then people realizing their houses are too big during COVID, or they're not big enough, or maybe they get a divorce during COVID, or maybe they get pregnant and realize they need a bigger house. I don't know. There's lots of people moving right now, so it's good. So going back to news stuff, and again, I apologize. My books are all over the place because I didn't have time beforehand. Oh yeah, in Indiana, there was a 5K race at a local not high school, but local school, but you could only be in high school. And there was 2 people winning, one more so than the other. And then he rolled his ankle, twisted his ankle, and the other guy, instead of just zooming back and being haha, sucker, or whatever, he asked him if he was okay. And the guy told him, I hurt myself. And so anyways, instead of passing him, he put his hand on his back and helped him. And then when they actually got to the finish line, he made sure that the other guy went first and he stepped back. and they're both 18, and I think that's super cute because lots of younger kids and generations get a bad reputation. So just shows that, you know, there's good people out there, and some are maybe just misunderstood or what have you. That's cute. I'm going back to a question. So this question comes from Bonnie, and Bonnie's in Barrie. She said, "Hi Kristin, I met with you years ago at an open house, but always remembered you. I liked you didn't seem pushy and just asked if I had any questions and knew that it was a big step for me that I wasn't quite ready to make. Now I'm ready to make a move, but in a different space." And that says, i.e., leave my husband. Okay. Do you think it would be awkward if one of us moved out before the home was listed, or should we wait till after the whole COVID thing and list then? Thank you, Bonnie, for remembering me and feeling not pressured at the open house. I don't think it's awkward to list when one of you doesn't live there. However, I wouldn't make it appear that one of you doesn't live there. I wouldn't have like X's through, you know, his face on the wall. I wouldn't take out all of his, you know, clothes in the walk-in closet or in the dressers or anything like that. I wouldn't put a mug, like a wine mug that says single and ready to mingle, especially if there's a male and female's name on the listing, like on the seller's listing, because it'll show that. Because people often think they're divorced, they're desperate, like blah blah, and then you don't want the buyers ever to have an upper hand. So I wouldn't do that. We just staged a house the other day. We actually did two this week already. It's only Wednesday, where they did split up, and we basically, whatever was missing, the male or the female's clothes, we put in the closets because we don't want it to ever look like that. So it can be done even if he takes all his clothes or you take all your clothes. Somebody, whether it's our team or somebody else, can help you out, I would imagine, with that. And as for waiting after the COVID thing, I don't know what the market will be. I know what it is right now, and I know it's crazy for sellers. What it's going to be after, when the after is, I can't really judge on that. So I'm sorry that I can't answer that question, but I can answer the whole about the living there or not living there part. So thank you for asking. And then we're going back to, the 17-year-old. So there was a 17-year-old, I have to find where this is, basically that a senior came in. You know how sometimes they have morning senior things, the first hour is seniors or what have you, and this man hadn't been out since March, and he came in, and his bill was like $173, but he was $33 short, and basically this 17-year-old cashier paid the rest of it, and he wanted to put stuff back because he didn't want to take her money. But she said, like, you have enough to worry about with COVID and stuff, and, you know, just being of that age and so forth. So that was really cute that she did that. And then there was this other lady, she's 72, and she is on limited income, and she doesn't have any running water or anything, and the lights went out, but she changed the light bulb, and it didn't do anything, and it wasn't from an unpaid bill, so she called an electrician. And this fellow came over and he, you know, fixed it. But all weekend he couldn't stop, you know, thinking about this older lady that, you know, basically was kind of living in a house that was falling apart. So he put a Facebook post out that said, like, nice lady needs help. And basically just was seeing if people would volunteer their time, maybe, you know, an electrician or a plumber or whatever. And so she ended up in the end getting new windows, new front steps, new front porch, new electrical, new plumbing, and they fixed because her walls were kind of deteriorating and kind of like old plaster and stuff, and ceiling and so forth, and she got that all done because of this one electrician that started this fund for her. And then he started a thing called Gloria's, I want to say it's Gladiators, but I will double check. His name, by the way, was John Kinney. Gloria's Gladiators. So once her house was done, he started this thing called Gloria's Gladiators, and basically it's not just for Gloria, it's for elderly people. And other contractors can volunteer their time to go, you know, lay somebody's floor for them who can't afford it, or help with their plumbing, or do some landscaping, or put more, you know, spray foam in their attic to help with their utility bills or whatever. And then people can also donate to Gloria's Gladiators, and they can give money that will go towards food for those people who are volunteering. And it's all just for seniors. So I thought that was cute. So Anyways, that is that. And again, the $1,000 giveaway is next Thursday. You do not have to be a client of mine or ours at Cripps Realty. You do have to nominate somebody. They do have to be over the age of 18. And they have to live in Simcoe County. So just email your submission, your video to info@crippshomes.com. And next Thursday, we'll go and knock on somebody's door and give them a $1,000 check. Last month, a girl named Ashley won, and she was in Barrie. And the month before, a fellow, his name was Brian. I had to think there for a second. Brian in Collingwood won, and Ashley was nominated by her coworker, and Brian was nominated by his partner. So nominate whoever you like, and there's no judgments. They can be the coolest sister, the best neighbor or best friend or what have you. There are no guidelines besides they have to be in Simcoe County and over 18, okay? If anybody has any other further questions about real estate or what's happening in the market, feel free to message me or call me or write it in the chat. Hope you guys have a great night, and sorry again for my bad connection. I don't know what that's about, but it's what it is. Have a great night.